Okay, so here is my machine. One thing I want to point out is actually if you look here on the top, most machines are going to have little instructions up here. Okay, so this is actually for something different other than threading the machine. That is actually for when we want to put thread onto a bobbin that's empty. So right now we are going to thread the top of the machine. This is very, very similar in pretty much every machine that you're going to come across. Right here is the spool pin. This is where the spool of thread is going to go, like that. Okay, we want to have the thread kind of facing us, like that. Okay, and then it's going to come back around here, and it's going to go right in here in this little gap, like that. Okay, now you can see there's all kinds of little wires and stuff in there, but I didn't have to thread them in those little wires. I just simply put it in the little gap right there. And now we're just going to come down here. You see the little number 2. And then we're going to go up here and then down. Okay, and see how that kind of hooked on that little hook in there? That's what you want it to do. Okay, so now right here, this little bar right here, we want the thread to kind of go in that little bar so that it's held closer to the needle when you're sewing. So I'm going to turn on the machine so you can actually see it a little bit better. What I like to do is I like to take the thread in my fingers just like this. Okay, and then I can kind of pop it in that bar just like that and pull it tight. Okay, so now I have this thread in my right hand. Now on my machine I have a little needle threader, which if I turn the camera this way, you can kind of see that if I push down on it, it kind of controls that. Okay, so we want to take this thread and it comes under this little needle threader like that. You push down, the little claw comes through the needle just like that, and you take this thread here and you kind of scoop it inside that little claw. So I always like to kind of bring it to the back and up like that. And then we're going to let both go slowly. Okay, so I'm letting this hand go and this hand go. And you can see that it kind of brought this little loop out the back. And so this is the little loop that we're going to pull all the way through. And then I like to say that we stick the thread kind of in the big toe of the presser foot and to the back. And that kind of just keeps it out of your way. Now, if you do not have one of these little needle threader things, you could just take your thread and just poke it through the eye of the needle just like you would if you were hand sewing and do it that way. But the needle threader is actually a really nice thing to learn how to use because it just kind of makes everything a little bit easier. So anyways, that is threading the top of the machine. So now we're going to go to how to thread the bobbin, which is a million times easier, especially on this kind of machine.